Badlands isn't actually a goofy buddy comedy complete with cute animal sidekicks, an insecure protagonist with daddy issues who has to learn to connect with his emotions, weightless CGI combat scenes, and wacky banter from a quirky android co-star that feels more like an aborted Mandalorian script than anything to do with.
There's a lot of word salad.
Not really.
Not really.
I think he's making a pretty clear point.
Those
Here.
are
Really.
specific.
It's point, then point, then point. Then
Deal with
point.
any of them. Choose one. Just deal with it.
I think it's pretty rich that he said this after the last 1 minute long spiel that he went on that was actual word salad that ended fucking in the middle of the point.
But nothing to do with what Az said, as far as anyone could tell. But yeah, definitely. Good stuff.
So I'm going to throw this one out there. Out of all of us, if we were to throw Drinker into this group right now, all of us, he's by far the most efficient with his words. We all have much longer videos. And for him to say this is all pure word salad.
A little apples and oranges.
Yeah.
Because you could be very efficient, but have a much longer video if you're explaining things in a lot more detail.
I just think he trims it down to as few words as he can. Not, just
he makes shorter, more casual videos.
Yeah.
But he does that well. I think it suits him well. His style, the character he plays, the information it gets across. It's very digestible, very approachable.
Not a breakdown.
But to call Drinker word salad is.
I disagree. Yeah, I definitely disagree with that. If anything, it's the opposite. He's a bit concise for what he's trying to do.
Well, sometimes I wish Drinker would do longer videos. To be honest with you,
he's concise in a way that can be detrimental because a lot of the reason why scripts end up being long is because you have to cram it with caveats to deal with people like this who can't understand the point
Bad
that you're
faith
making.
Actors entirely.
And Drinker doesn't.
Every single counter argument, every single potential misunderstanding and misrepresentation, just to account for all of the arguments before they arise. There's a frustration that comes from that for sure, because it would be nice if everybody was essentially able to clue in on the points that people are making, but. Yeah. In the absence of that, it does kind of encourage you to be a bit longer so that you can deal with these arguments before they arise.
It's a difference between, say, a review, and that's what Drinker primarily does, and a breakdown or a more in-depth analysis is kind of the proportion of assertions to arguments made. In a review, when you're giving essentially an overview, and that opening section from Drinker's video is the overview of what he thinks about various parts of the movie. Not every one of those is necessarily going to be substantiated, because he's reviewing it based on the feelings he had, the emotions he had, and his overall take on the thing. The video isn't going to say, and that means this and this and this, here is justification X, Y, Z, and then move on to next claim. Short review videos don't tend to do that, but it does leave you way more open to disingenuous counter-arguments or people who aren't willing to accept that that's what it is.
No, I agree with Craig, the bad guy. The word I'm looking for is concise. There are shorter reviews. There's people who do literal shorts, but he's very good with getting as much information into one sentence as anybody I've ever met.
It's a lot of word sounds. It's getting even worse. We're 30 seconds of the video. It's getting even worse with Critical Drinker.
Counter a point. Go ahead. Do it.
The point is, these guys don't want stories.
Oh,
I don't
he said about the man who literally makes them, but all right.
I don't want stories.
All right.
I haven't heard this one
Here's
before.
a weird way of showing it.
So, obviously the first question you have, other than what Rags just said, which is that he does write his own, is what do you do when Drinker likes a story, which he does, by the way. So, how do you account for that? What do you do? It was a lie?
It's part of the grift. He's a griffly bear, and that's part of the grift. It's
I
one
see.
Of his tactics.
I gotcha.
I don't think they want stories. You're mad that they have a very deep and nuanced take on the Predator franchise.
Steady on.
Calm down, yeah.
Nuance.
This is a little embarrassing. But I feel as though he realized he couldn't necessarily counter anything Drinker said. In that selection, the other two I think played it and just ran off, made crazy points. I think he had the exact same problem. He's like, how do I tackle this? I just won't. I'm instead going to make a point about how they don't even like stories. It's a bold strategy, Cotton.
I don't know anyone who hates stories. I don't know a human being who hates stories.
I'm not a fan.
It's pretty tough to hate stories, yeah. It's unlikely.
I would just like one sentence. I don't want any kind of narrative. I'm done with it.
We're getting more than just creature comes in and murders people, which is what it's been for a very long time.
That's kind of fucking annoying, actually.
Yeah, because the original obviously is way more than that.
Way more than that.
All of them
The whole
technically
point
are.
about Predator, at least at its peak, is that this is a very intelligent and calculating entity. Like calling him a creature, it's not like an animal. It's meant to be somebody that's employing tactics, fucking with people.
Well, he's kind of said that he doesn't think aliens can like love or have emotions. So
well,
I don't know what he thinks about.
But the thing is, he'll switch this on a dime when he watches Avatar, because then he'll sink into that interpretation, rather than like having any sort of consistent beliefs that then are applied to various different films. That's the impression I get. I assume that he probably likes Avatar. Maybe not, but I'd be surprised if he didn't. Honestly,
I'm not sure.
We're starting to get a deeper look. A peek behind the curtain, if you will, to the
not even because he rejects the culture of the Predator, like which again we talked about this when we were talking about the film. But to me, the pitch of a Predator film is essentially a villain movie, in the sense that you're getting like fully from that perspective, not with the intent of having some sort of turnaround at some point, right? Kind of like if you want to see an Empire story, it's not like, oh, well, no, you're going to see them as the Empire for the first, third, and then they're going to realize the Empire is evil and become rebels. Like, that's not what people are interested in when you pitch them that story. Like, it's the reason why I don't like saying that this film is unconventional, because it ain't.
No.
To the world of the Predator.
It's a very conventional movie. It's not a conventional Predator movie, but that's kind of its own problem.
This is one of those times where they're trying so hard to dislike something because, again, rent is due.
So if I were in a call with him right now, I'd be like, tell me what criticisms he just laid out. Give me one of them, and I guarantee you'd be like,
Baller. I'm in a unique position because, like we said before, I didn't absolutely hate this movie, and this guy's criticism of Drinker makes absolutely no sense.
No, I mean, this guy to say what one of the criticisms Drinker delivered, because he's probably forgotten at this point.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is since so as a person who, I don't want to say on the fence, I want to say like maybe half on the fence about the movie. I'm the kind of person
you're on the fence about being on the fence.
You're just on the fence.
I'm on the fence about being on the fence. I'm the kind of person that this guy would be trying to influence, and all he's doing is pushing me to the other side of the fence. He's just pushing me to because he's not actually criticizing anything properly. He's just going, yeah, that's what he said. He's wrong. And I hate that argument.
Trying so hard to dislike something because, again, rent is due, bills are due, and these guys don't.
Yeah, man, it was really the Predator review that really made the difference between Drinker being bankrupt. That was it.
Look, every dollar adds up, man. He's like, well, I guess I got to do a Predator review. Hopefully, I could scrape a few shekels together to pay the old landlord this month.
Have enough stuff.
So
to
I'm not
hate.
out on the
So
street.
they're trying to find a reason to dislike and hate something. The issue here with this is that you're talking about all of the details of a movie that make it a good film, all of the things that make this movie something more than just like a hack and slash type movie. And you're acting like it's a bad thing, but I can pretty much assure you guys, he's not going to talk about why it's bad. He's just sarcastically explaining what the movie's about and showing fun.
Could you imagine that?
So
just saying that it's good over and over again without giving any detail? Who would do that?
Interesting. I can't imagine anyone would do that.
That would be
Anyone who has a
crazy.
passion for narratives and stories would want to go in depth, obviously. I didn't even like this fucking movie, and I know it in and out, I feel.
Funny little memes and clips, which, by the way, we know that's not working much anymore either. We know that the fuel is running out on that one. The gas station is out.
Huh?
Refills are not available.
The grifters
It's just
are
not
losing.
something that's working anymore.
Wait, so hold on. So
Okay.
he's doing
The
all of this for
truculatories are
money,
saying
the
and
Griffins are losing.
it's not working. So he's doing it for money because it's
It's
running
not
out.
working, yeah.
It's not working. So he's grifting badly in that case.
He's a bad grifter, yeah.
So it's not working. Predator Badlands, Disney consumes another franchise 8 days ago, 1.1 million views. Damn,
It's
Drinker.
not
Allegedly.
working enough to me.
Falling apart
I mean,
over
we
there,
don't know if
Drinker.
that's a real number.
Yeah, that's just the grift. That's just the Griffly Bear bots that he purchased from grift.com.
I mean, anybody who has made a YouTube video knows that on our end, sometimes the views are much higher
something
than the
that's
one that the
working.
public
That's
sees.
what it's more likely to be at this point, given the recent changes that YouTube's implemented. Is that is actually undercounting the number of people who've actually seen it because it doesn't like people using ad blockers, and fuck you YouTube. But that's how it does it. So, but to counter the point he's making, which is that Drinker is doing this because it's a grift for money, and we know that that's not very good and won't possibly work. So he's doing it anyway. The 1.1 million is quite sufficient, I think, to disprove both angles to that. Evidently, there's enough interest in the subject matter, and it is still working. But to say that that is the reason Drinker does these videos when he's done it forever
mainstream
is
cultural talking point with movies and stuff, to the point where even my normie parents were kind of talking about this sort of thing, and when it comes to movies and commercials and stuff that they see. I think it's just become kind of an open mainstream thing to talk about, and part of it is because of channels like Critical Drinker and Nerdrotic and all that stuff. They've sort of made it acceptable and accessible.
So back when Alien Romulus came out, I was on that open bar, and I said I hated it, and there was a lot of people in the chat who didn't agree with me. And then Drinker put out his video and almost word for word agreed with everything I said. Like, it was just there was a few things we differed on, but for the most part we were lockstep. So for people to say like, oh, he just goes based on what his audience is saying, that's clear. I have an actual proof situation where his own audience in the chat was not saying what I was saying, and he still agreed with me. So it's anybody who would be paying attention to that sort of thing, if anybody did any degree of quality assurance, quality check on their own narrative about him, would know that.
So obviously, because he's cracked the Drinker, like he's figured out Drinker's desperate for views at this point because everything's collapsing for him.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, of course, I was just curious to check, and which video is this from, Rags? Do you know what the name of it is?
His Disney consumed another franchise, I believe.
I mean,
was his,
this guy covering Drinker.
Oh yeah, let me just pass you the link here. Scroll.
Because obviously he knows what
go.
the people want, you know.
Well, does he though? Because like this is it's one of those really, really convenient defenses you can have, is that when my opponent does really well, that's because audience capture, just telling them what they think. When I don't do quite as well, it's because I'm telling people the truth and they don't like to hear it. When opponent does badly, it's because the audience has seen through the grift. And when I do well, it's because I'm telling the truth. There's basically no way this guy can lose in the type of analysis that he does.
Well, I mean, you know, so Drinker, the 1.1 million, this guy got 7k views, so I think it's pretty obvious the tides have turned. Drinker's been exposed, and this guy's doing the exposing, just like those other guys.
Well, the previous guy particularly, who did so much to shed the light on this corner of YouTube, and it's thanks to him that other brave voices are now able to speak out without fear of oppression and persecution.
It's like, why bring up the numbers if you're going to get fucking flattened by them? What's the point? Obviously, views don't mean you're correct. It's just weird to be like, aha, it's drying up, Drinker.
It's kind of I think the issue is that he really just did. It feels good, especially to say, oh, my cultural opponents, they're just losing. They are losing. They're on their way out. They had their day in the sun, but now they're going to scuttle back on the ground like the vermin they are. But
if Drinker got 0 views as of tomorrow and no one ever watched his videos ever again, that was a fucking excellent run in terms of popularity and influence. Holy shit.
Holy shit. Those kinds of views, the fact that many people were influenced by you, the fact that how long you went, the kind of stuff that you were able to produce, all the side projects and podcasts and everything, that's insane. People would kill to have that kind of success.
Yeah.
It is a weird situation. So, like, I understand that people will look at views as a metrics. But there are various metrics, and obviously views is tied to so many other things: thumbnail, title, searchability. There's so many little aspects to it, but it doesn't. And the fact that people use that as a way to argue whether or not somebody is relevant or not, I've always hated that.
No, you could have the best opinion in the world and you've got 1 view. Unfortunately, nobody hears it or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it can happen.
You might have a shitty, you may have just a terrible thumbnail. Your title doesn't make sense, and you just have no visibility. But you could have the greatest video ever. I know some guys out there who have some of the best work I've ever seen, some of the best editing, best voice work, and they get like 2,000, 3,000 views, and it's unfortunate because honestly, if they got it just happens. It's just the way the world works. It's just there's this whole,
like I said,
YouTube
discoverability is the biggest hurdle that you could possibly really get, especially nowadays. it is a super oversaturated market. It is a big pond, but it is filled to it's overflowing with fish.
I mean, Platoon, you probably remember my early days. I had a lot of trouble getting discovered. A lot of my early videos just didn't go anywhere. And then finally I just said, screw this. And I made the most ridiculous thumbnail I could, and it got views. And it wasn't even my best video. I've always said this. Some of my best videos have never been seen. It sucks, but
Yeah.
Mystique, partly because those CGI heavy trailers with the horrible Predator redesign didn't do much to win me over, and
It's not a redesign. It's not a he purposely looks the way he looks because he's the runt of the clan.
Single
Yeah, he
God,
looks like
every,
Sean Pippin.
Every single one.
of them,
They
every
will
single
not
one.
engage.
Again,
they
to
refuse.
reiterate, this if you say this to somebody who had a really bad reaction to it, what do you think that's going to do? Oh, it's meant to look like shit. Oh, okay,
So I was right.
still does. Wait, yeah, all right.
It's not a redesign. If you watch at the beginning of the movie, you will see that the other predators in his clan still look like the predators that we know from the previous iterations of the movies and the franchises.
And how
Yeah,
interesting
which
that Deck,
is-
who is literally their relative, looks nothing like them and looks special and unique for some weird reason. And Runt is not the answer because Runts are just smaller versions of the normal thing. They don't
Yeah.
say that he's deformed or he has a mutation, just that he's a little guy.
I mean, he's actually building the argument in favor of redesign in this situation by pointing out that no other predator in the movie looks like him in ways that can't be explained by the runt of the litter status. So it is a redesign.
Yep.
We know that. So specifically, this predator looks this way for a reason. It is a conscious decision that they made in the conception, in the design of the film, in the core of the story. It's why he looks that way.
Yeah, they took the design and retooled it into something else to accord with an idea of the run of the litter. It's kind of like a redesign in a way.
In the conception of the film, in the core of the story, man, Drinker's word salad is just so bad.
partly because of
Wow.
early reviews from intellectual giants like Grace Randolph, who boldly gushed over the film's
Oh, please.
humanization
Here
of
we
the
go.
Predator
Please
and a
fuck this
possible
up.
romantic relationship with a fucking android.
There was no romance in the
I just
We know.
that's his point, you fucking loser.
Yeah.
At least the
reiterate
last
that.
guy had actual autism as an excuse, but this guy doesn't.
That we know of.
If he says there's
Look.
romance in this, then he didn't watch the film.
If
Oh
he
my
says there's romance in it,
It's just
So-
a simple sentence. All he
What we-
said was that this is what Grace Randolph said, and none of them have been able to grasp what that sentence could possibly
What
mean.
we've discovered is that Drinker's accidentally created like the best sort of rat trap he ever could have by accident. It's like it's when people
yeah, that's a good point.
generate their own straw men and they get killed by them. It's like, how did you do that? So impressive.
yeah,
He
it
didn't
is.
watch it. If he says there's romance.
Jesus, the
But he
amount of
didn't.
glazing this film's been getting on social media would have you believe it's the best thing since the 1987 original.
It's a great
In fact,
movie.
according to Rotten Tomatoes, it's actually better, and it's not even close.
Rotten Tomatoes. So here we go. Here we go. Again, misunderstanding of Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes is an aggregate site.
Yes, that's why
Yeah?
he's using it to talk about how it's depressing
Yes.
what the critics say,
Oh,
because
please,
that is an
please.
aggregation of the critics and what the critics say. You idiot!
Man,
you
I really want to
slurring.
see how he's going to sort of twist
Yeah,
himself.
I'm confused. How where does he think he's going with this?
It
Let's
aggregates
see.
scores and then creates a number based on those scores. It's all math.
Okay.
So why would you say Rotten Tomatoes ranked it in a certain place in the list when they just simply made a list of where it was ranked by critics?
Okay, well, so
Um,
what do you think that Drinker is communicating when he points to the Rotten Tomatoes aggregate score?
Holy
He
shit,
said
man.
lots of people are saying that this film is good. Look at the Rotten Tomatoes score, which is based on what lots of people think. Lots of people
Also-
appear to think that it's better than Predator.
We're close to the idea that I said, I can't believe you killed me with a fucking gun, and then you go, I killed you with a bullet. Like, what? Yeah, no, I know. You've just described it slightly differently, but that's exactly what Drinker's trying to say. I don't know how you didn't pick this up. Not complicated.
It's really simple. All the Drinker is saying, man, people love this movie. Fuck, according to this metric, it seems like people like it more than the original film that everybody thinks
We-
is great.
Yeah,
And then
he's
his
saying
response
that-
is, So, in case you didn't know this, Rotten Tomatoes is an aggregate, and what an aggregate is a collection of a whole bunch of different numbers compiled into one.
Are we at the point now where like 8 out of 10 times they'll repeat his point back to him, agree, and say they're disagreeing?
Yep.
Seems that way.
It's become really because they don't know what
Dude,
they're
they're
arguing
doing the
against.
thing
They're
that
so
people say that
primed
we
to
do, where
disagree.
it's just like disagreeing with every single thing that's being said, regardless of whether or not it makes sense to disagree with it. Just taking issue with every single thing that Drinker says, every single thing that Ass said.
All of it.
He upset himself
Yeah,
so
it's like-
much.
I so
It's just-
enjoyed that indignation. Oh, what a fucking idiot Drinker is.
I can't
Oh.
believe that Drinker used an aggregate website when he was talking about the thing that the website aggregates.
That's crazy. Can't believe it.
Unbelievable.
Insane.
Unbelievable.
That's
The one thing I think about Drinker, that a lot of his whatever you want to call this, his the anti-drinkers will say they try to point to his character as being a source of not having a good opinion, when obviously it's more concise than that. So they'll just be like, oh, he's basically in their mind, I think he's just a drunken dude who doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
Well, I mean, that's pretty wild, right? Considering how popular he is, you'd think he's onto something, that people see something in what he's doing. I mean,
Yeah,
if you would,
well,
we've said
now
before,
for
nostalgia
us-
critic, right? It's like, why is he so popular? It's like, well, he's entertaining. He touches on stuff that people enjoyed when they were younger, and he was early. CinemaSins, it's like, I mean, same sort of set of things, and then it's like an engaging sort of format to watch a film getting scored. It's like amusing, and he can make jokes that are funny and observation. You just get to re-experience a film. It's like Drinker. Well, I mean, I hate to tell you this, but a lot of the things Drinker says, a lot of people think that he's on point and agree with him. So sorry.
Well, take for example all the people who are in the who hate Hassan, of which I'm a card-carrying party member. I fucking hate Hassan, but no one who hates Hassan would deny that he's not popular. He obviously is. He's super popular. That's just like obvious. If anything, that's one of the biggest black pills that we have, is that, oh shit, this guy is popular. This incredibly stupid, hateful guy is very popular with a bunch of people.
And I think a lot of people like this say and think the same thing about Drinker, but the difference is that they don't seem to really be able to articulate a single argument against a video that Drinker has produced, whereas I think we can all come up with fairly substantiated reasons that Hassan is a piece of shit. These people, like a lot of it, like some of this does just come as an immediate emotional reaction to thing you don't understand is bizarrely popular and you don't like it. And then if you can convince yourself that there's no worth in it, then you get that sort of bitter enviness that comes in of seeing something that you've written off as shit being so very popular, while here you are producing videos telling the truth about the grift and only getting 7,000 views. People get quite annoyed about that, but it would help, I think, if maybe they considered paying attention to what Drinker actually does and what he actually says when constructing a view of him, rather than going with gut feeling and falling into that bitterness.
It's kind of like what I said before, I forget who it was in the chat who said, like, the word I was looking for, concise. He's so concise with his wording that a lot of these people find issue in locating the problem they have with the sentence that he just said.
We have absolutely seen that today for sure. People don't know what he's saying. They're like not even listening, or they skip into an assumption of what he has said.
They're so primed to be negative and hate him that they're not even like listening to the words he says.
They almost isolate like one or two words of the sentence. It's almost as though he's so concise that they try to out concise him and be like, well, I'm going to focus on this one word. And if I
think
point
that's
out
more of it, yeah.
The Grace Randolph thing is fucking crazy.
The Grace yes, it's the Grace Randolph thing. Yeah, they couldn't even comprehend that when he said those things, he was reporting what she said. They just heard those words and said, "Oh, Drinker said these words. This is what he's thinking."
Exactly, and that's what I was kind of saying before. That like because technically he said those words, they're going to quote him as such.
Yeah, it's extremely powerful confirmation bias. They are listening for things that confirms their worldview. He says the words, and they immediately think it confirms the worldview.
It's kind of like the $40 million statistic. They're like, look, it had the record-breaking $40 million statistic, and then they didn't scroll down a little bit. It was like, oh, it only beat the 21-year-old movie by $2 million.
So chat laid out.
Record-breaking $40 million. That's a big number.
they're all running with their visceral reactions. That's what's happening.
That's true.
Visceral.
You
I
can't
forgot
run your
about that.
visceral reactions.
I forgot that visceral was a thing.
Visceral
It's a
is-
great thing.
It's important. All right.
Fuck off, Rotten Tomatoes. This is why nobody listens to professional reviewers anymore. Whatever the cost of selling your soul to your corporate overlords, I hope it was worth it, you bunch of dicks. Anyway, let's talk about this unholy
Dicks.
union twixt predator.
That's really, really, really crazy coming from somebody who literally sells out in every video.
To who?
in
To what?
comparable way?
Yeah, to whom?
He has sold
I
out
will-
to big anti woke.
I will say this. Aesthetically, just purely aesthetically speaking, not a great argument to make. However, I would be curious what is it the shilling for the big corporations or against them that makes you the sellout, or is it saying like is it because he's been accused multiple times of being like anti-Disney no matter what, which is like, oh, I would assume that if you're
Well,
shilling for the big
Yen-
mega corporation, the big evil mega corporation, you are the sellout, or are you selling out to the people who hate
Again,
it?
though, this
Like,
doesn't work
you know,
because he liked Andor. So it's like, well,
he did. Andor was good shit,
uh-oh.
and he recognized it as that.
Remember, he was labeled a dingbat for that one. So that was very serious. Like the repercussions
dingbat?
of standing up for Andor.
You are actually selling out right now in this video.
Going out for who?
How?
I don't know how
Wow.
to I don't know how to tell you this. He doesn't like Predator Badlands. He thinks it's bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I mean, here's the thing: is for him to be selling out would require that all of us collectively could pay him more than Disney.
the only way
and
that you could, I guess, call him a sellout is that he's just trying to. It's just the grift thing. A sellout. If you're accusing someone of selling out, you're basically saying that they're grifting. It's essentially the same thing. They're interchangeable.
Once again, that doesn't have any meaning. We've established earlier today that there was no it's essentially a meaningless word.
He thinks it's a shitty movie, and it
Yeah.
is. It's a bad movie, and he didn't like it. It's
You
that
know,
simple.
whether or not
You'd think
you
that there'd
wanna
be a little
argue-
Occam's razor showing up.
Whether or not you want to argue that he plays it up to his audience, that's a different thing. But if whether or not he agrees with what he's saying is that is an argument that you can't even have.
This is
He
also
built
where
that
we meet our
audience on that argument. He built that audience on that opinion.
main man, Dick. But henceforth, I shall name him Lumpy because it gives me literally seconds of amusement, and I need to take whatever wins I can get from this one. Anyway, Lumpy is preparing to go on his first hunt so that he can become a fully fledged member of his clan, but his toxically masculine dad has other ideas and instead orders his brother to kill him because he's the runt of the litter.
Why is he toxically masculine? Is that ever mentioned?
From someone who's
Wait a minute.
There's no one
What
who's-
do you? What?
from someone
what
who's
do
a
you-
hyper lefty, in particular, you'd think obviously
Yeah.
their culture is super toxically masculine. Obviously, that's part of the appeal, but it's also why you wouldn't want to live in that culture yourself. All right. Obviously, they are.
In the film? Oh no.
Sorry.
As
I was gonna say, as a person
toxic-
who is born asthmatic, I do not agree with just killing off people with weaknesses. I'm just gonna say that one out there.
That's
so-
because just because you're a I can't say that word because I'd have to censor it.
I'm sorry,
The P
yeah.
word.
Well, I'm
gonna
just
call you the
saying,
P
like
slur.
hyper masculine because it's just,
No, yeah, it's like it's obvious toxic masculinity.
What you don't
like,
understand
Duh, that's
is
like the point, basically.
having asthma means you're playing life on hyper masculine mode because you literally got to breathe through
Oh,
blockages.
you're like the peacock.
Yeah,
that is true.
Yeah.
I needed to learn how to fight without oxygen. I
exactly.
forgot.
Makes you a
The fact
hyper
that
man.
you can survive despite your horrific disability and disfiguration. I mean, just your
You are
your
hideously
asthma
deformed.
means that
of
you are.
course.
It means that you're extra tough. You know, ladies
Exactly.
line up around the block. They're like,
As
"Hell
as
yeah."
mentioned there,
I could
some-
assure you that ladies do not line up around the block for me. But
get some artificial barriers of blockage in the lungs. You know, you can't have
Oh
that.
no,
Yeah.
not those. That's a
Never
natural barrier of blockage, wouldn't it?
Hmm.
It's
Mentioned. Never talked about. We know that
Yeah, they never have a predator say I am toxically masculine.
yeah. They don't say the words "you are slur." It just obviously is because you can look at it and see that that's how it is. They don't have to say the phrase "yeah, dingbat."
the predators, at least in terms of their race, are a warrior race. That's what they do, right? So it makes a lot of sense. It would feel very Klingon-esque, like honor and all of these things. We know that. toxic masculinity, which is not even mentioned in this fucking movie at all.
Fucking
Never even
weird if it
addressed.
was,
I
my
mean,
man.
Would not
am I going to be the one who has to say media literacy here? They didn't say the phrase toxic masculinity, so it can't exist.
True.
Nope.
Like, surely you're not that
I
stupid.
just enjoy him saying
Come up
the
with
word
an alternate for
the words
media
toxic
literacy. What's
masculinity never come up in this film. It would be really strange if someone in the film did say
That's what I
those
was
two
saying.
words.
Why the fuck would a predator say, like, Dad, you're being very toxically masculine right now?
Toxically
what is a let's hold on. Let's find a alternate version to say toxic masculinity here. Hold on.
I mean,
I'm just trying.
Patriarchal
I'm
oppression.
not sure. Yeah, patriarchal.
Aggressive
something-
aggressive machismo. There we go. Aggressive machismo. There
I
we
don't
go.
know.
That's
Aggressive machismo can be really healthy, I feel.
Yeah, toxic sort of pushes it into the
Aggressive
definitively
is-
negative.
Yeah, aggression has a lot of positive aspects to it. Yeah, I don't know. I think toxic masculinity really is just kind of like the perfect phrase for it.
Yeah,
And
It used
that's
to be, like,
obviously what their
male
culture has,
chauvinist
even
or
if it
something
isn't.
like that. But it's still it's basically the same thing. And the Predator's dad does embody most of the traits that for the last many years we've all been told are the embodiment of toxic masculinity. So it's not like a reach to say that that's what it represents. You don't
Yeah.
really need to begin with that analysis. You can completely review the film without even talking about it, but it is there.
I was just having fun with you guys. I really didn't have a reason for that.
So this is you trying to quote unquote current day a story where the story doesn't even address it the way you're framing it.
Does the same thing apply to
But
all
Eric
those
would
people who
surely
said
agree.
that Predator Badlands is a queer story, which a lot of people, I read a
Yeah.
few reviews that attempted to say that. I mean, is that equivalently trying to current day analysis, which shouldn't be there? Because I'm happy to have neither of these things in the analysis, but if we can have one, I think we can have both.
Yeah, I mean, it's just you could just look at it. It's obviously toxic masculinity. That's their culture. It's an honor-based warrior culture, and it's super. I mean, it's overly aggressive.
Well, I don't think anyone would have
and
any difficulty calling it a masculine culture, and then simultaneously that it's pretty bad. Like you wouldn't want to be in that one
Yeah.
yourself. However, very entertaining to watch, engaged with.
Great for stories.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. It's really awesome
Yeah.
for stories. It's like zombie apocalypse. I wouldn't want to be in one, but it makes for great video game and movie premises.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point. Like you don't have to want to be part of a society to say that they're good at being antagonistic or protagonistic for that matter.
Doesn't even make sense.
The situation soon goes the way of your average Scottish wedding, and Lumpy ends up crash landing on generic alien planet number 2, where his mission is to find and kill the Callisk, the most powerful and dangerous animal on the planet, and return victorious to generic alien planet number 1 so that he can take revenge on his toxically masculine dads. I mean, call me crazy here, but why not just go straight back there and kill him anyway? I mean, it's not like
Because he's the runt of the litter, and we see his much more capable at that time brother.
Man, they all have the exact same
Yeah.
response
It's-
every
it's
time.
remarkable.
It's weird. They're not thinking. They're not engaging
No.
with their brains.
Yeah,
That's
So
crazy.
how come he goes back at the end and he just wins easily?
Yeah, every time they do. Well, when we got to get to the XP part, the endurance part.
He's got his XP and he put it into 1v1 sword fighting.
Get brutally murdered by his father before he leaves.
All of these people presume, right? Because correct me if I'm wrong. The ship launches, and the power of the launch like knocks out Deck. Right? He falls on the ground and
it
gets
slams
knocked
him
out.
against the hull. Yeah.
So, do these people think that if the door had opened, that Deck would have not fought the dad?
He was
No, I mean-
trying to. He was
trying to get out.
pounding on the door to try and go out
desperately
there
trying
and
to get
fight.
out to fight. This is what I'm
he would
saying.
have
It's like
100%.
they've all
Fight him.
decided that Deck purposefully went to the planet himself and like landed the ship and did the mission, then came back or some shit. It's like a lot of this was against his will. He absolutely would have wanted to avenge his father. And this is the other thing I was talking about earlier with Predators. Just because if you tell a Predator, like, you're likely to lose this fight, don't you understand that mathematically? I have a feeling Predator's going to be like, yeah, fuck it. I'm still going to kill
Which
that
means
shit.
if I win, it'll be all the fucking better.
Yeah, that's the assumption I got from it. He was angrier than ever. Killed his brother.
There's nothing like winning something you shouldn't.
Hell
No
yeah.
matter what it is. There's a reason why underdog stories work so well.
It's so weird that they all assume it's like, no. He was running away. He didn't want to fight the dad. He knew he'd lose until he beats the other big monster that he learns nothing from, and then he can beat his dad. And 2 other predators, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Handily
So-
kills them.
That's so.
Easily.
It's such a shit ending. It's a shitty film, but you know.
Fam, I'm sorry. I got to spoil
Fam.
this here. His
He
brother
said
gets
fam.
chopped into pieces by his dad right in front of him.
Yep, and he's pretty mad, and he wants to get to the dad for that one.
Pounding on
Why would
the
he just
the
stay
conspicuously invisible
that
door
when he
or
wants
Yeah,
to
the
prove
energy
his
shield. He
worth
can't get
to
through the
his
energy
clan.
shield.
So he said, why would he stay? It's like, he wanted to stay. He wanted to get out of the ship. The ship automatically
yeah,
leaves.
He was trying to.
I'm
Watch
not sure
the
that this guy
movie.
has seen the movie.
Yeah, it's one of those ones, isn't it?
He didn't
Interesting.
watch the fucking movie.
Oh!
Critical Drinker didn't watch.
What are
There's
the
no
odds?
way.
Oh.
There's no
You
way.
didn't
Okay,
watch the
so-
fucking movie, DJ Eric. Oh,
Eric.
Eric.
I'm very
Yeah,
bored
yeah,
of
just-
this stupid
AI
narrative
Rick.
that everyone's trying to run on Drinker because it's such a bad strategy. Let's pretend, right, we meet at the evil dark castle to craft the lies to bring down Drinker. And someone at the table is like, let's do the lie that he doesn't even watch the movies. And then everyone grumbles and goes, yes, yes, and they all vote yes. There should be at least the one guy on the table going, guys, that's like really easy for Drinker to undo. Because all he has to
it's
do...
the easiest argument to undo. It's
yeah,
the-
like
it's
he
the
just has to
easiest
watch the
argument.
movies, which I have it on authority. I think he does. Like, I think he actually likes movies. So this is gonna. In fact, there's this show called EFAP where they make EFAP movies, and Drinker actually is seen watching films in those calls. I think there's
It's AI edited in
definitive proof. So if we go with this, if we hit him hard on you don't watch films. I think it might backfire, actually. Especially if we don't watch the fucking films. If we try to counter it with points that don't exist.
For anybody in the chat who doesn't think he watched the films, let's say you're just a detractor. This past Thursday, I was very upset that I wasn't able to watch Running Man, and he had seen the whole thing. And Mahler, you had seen like what, about half of it?
No, I'd seen all of it.
And you'd seen all of it. Okay. And yeah, it's most of the people on Open Bar had not seen it. He had seen the whole thing. So
Well, so
he has his ways. He has his means.
that's how he does it. That's how he lies. He invites people who haven't seen the movie so that he can just make it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's actually really clever.
Into his
It's
ploy.
crazy he's gotten this far. Like, so many people watch his videos and they're just like, wait a minute, I don't remember any of this happening, but sure, fine, okay, yeah. It's crazy. He's got that kind of power. He can just describe a movie to you and it will replace your memory of the movie.